shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Accusations of racism shake up a big competition entering its second day in Cary. How the organizers of the soccer tournament are responding to reports of a racial slur on the pitch.
And it's a quiet-looking morning. We're watching out for some patchy fog and, of course, tracking what's happening in the tropics.
And it is the start of a new era at Fort Bragg. You're looking live right now at the sign showing the post's new name, Fort Liberty, as we track reaction to today's big redesignation ceremony. Talking about it a lot lately, and finally we see the signs up. Brand new this morning. Welcome, I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you with us on this Friday as we made it to the end of the week. A dry start out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with how our Friday and weekend will shape up.
Yeah, I walked out this morning and you can see this big, beautiful moon. There was a little bit of cloud cover out there. And we are looking at the potential for some patchy fog. We're down to a quarter-mile visibility in Roxborough and South Hill and half a mile around the Triangle. But as we take a look across the area in terms of cameras, I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. I think we're going to end up with a mix of sun and clouds. Yesterday we started off nice and clear and then clouded up, but we may have more low cloud cover across the area this morning than we did yesterday. 66 is our temperature. We still have our wind coming out of the northeast. It's bringing in some moisture from the coast, of course. We take a look at Futurecast. Futurecast showing a pretty thick cloud deck here to begin with. It's not quite that thick just yet, but it may thicken up as we get through the morning. Once we head toward lunchtime, we start to see more holes in the clouds. Unlike yesterday, there could be an isolated shower here or there. Our chances are a little lower today than they were yesterday. We take a look at our hour-by-hour forecast. We're in the mid-70s by lunchtime and climbing into the low 80s with a bit of sunshine later this afternoon. We're tracking the tropics. I'll show you where we could have the potential for our first tropical storm of the season coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. More teams will take the pitch today at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. It's the second day of the soccer tournament, but one team is now out of the competition following accusations of a racial slur. Just after 11 last night, Dallas United announced its withdrawal. Frank Newble, a player with West Ham United, says a Dallas player directed a racial slur at him. The match between the teams last night was suspended as West Ham walked off the pitch. In a statement on Twitter, tournament officials said Dallas United violated the code of conduct. They added, quote, "We seek to run an event that is not only fiercely high stakes for all competitors, but also one in which all competitors feel safe and protected."
President Biden will address the nation at 7 tonight about a deal to raise the debt limit and avoid a potential economic meltdown. It is now on his desk after the Senate passed it just hours ago at the U.S. Capitol, where you're looking live. The vote came just before 11 last night. The deal allows the U.S. to keep borrowing money to pay its debts for 2 years while also putting a cap on spending. North Carolina senators, who are both Republicans, were divided. Tom Tillis voted for it. Ted Budd joined 36 others in voting against it. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer credited his party with saving the nation from default.
And it's not just how Democrats carry the bill to the finish line, but why. Why'd we get more votes? We got more votes because the bill beat back the worst of the Republican agenda.
If we really want the Fiscal Responsibility Act to live up to its name, the least we can do is to rescind the taxpayer dollars that remain to fight a pandemic that everyone knows is over.
In a statement last night, President Biden said no one gets everything they want in a negotiation, but make no mistake, this bipartisan agreement is a big win for our economy and the American people.
Today marks the end of an era and the start of a new one. Fort Bragg will officially be renamed Fort Liberty. The dropping of the historic Confederate namesake is part of the post's rebranding. WRAL's Naya Harden joins us live from there this morning, where new signs are already in place on post. Naya, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, you can see this here behind me, and it is very bright and reflective, actually, as you're driving down this way. Fort Bragg will officially become Fort Liberty this morning at a ceremony. Lieutenant General Chris Donahue, Fort Bragg's commanding general, will be the guest speaker. Once uncasing of the Fort Liberty colors, signifying the redesignation to Fort Liberty will happen. The changes come as the Department of Defense initiative after the 2020 George Floyd protest to rename military installations with the name of Confederate soldiers. According to a commission report, the changes will cost Fort Bragg more than $6 million. During the first march under the new installation name, the garrison commander explained the importance of Fort Liberty.
We found a name that is honorable. We've picked it in a way that was inclusive of the community and really does represent the values that were already part of our ethos. And so being able to codify it in an event like this, being able to walk shoulder to shoulder with Gold Star mothers, people who have given everything, given their sons for the cause of liberty.
And WRAL's Gilbert Bays will be out this morning for the ceremony. We'll also have that live for you, streaming it on the WRAL News app. Nia Harden, WRAL News, for the last time at Fort Bragg.
And breaking news this morning, 2 people are hurt, including an 11-year-old, after an air attack on Kyiv early this morning. Ukrainian officials say they were hurt by falling debris after the country's air defenses repelled a Russian attack. Officials say they shot down 36 missiles and drones.
A 17-year-old girl remains in custody this morning on a murder charge. Rocky Mount police say she was arrested in connection to the killing of Philip Johnson. Investigators say the 57-year-old man was found dead inside a home on Cypress Street Wednesday. They have not said how he died. The name of the girl charged in this case was also not released because of her age. She was taken to juvenile services.
Happening today, the town of Chapel Hill is raising awareness about the dangers of guns in the community. Local leaders and activists will attend the National Gun Violence Awareness Day event. It's also known as Wear Orange Day in honor of those who have lost their lives in shootings. Gun violence is now the leading cause of death for children and teens in the U.S. Today's event will include updates on state and federal legislation regarding gun safety. It's happening at the Peace and Justice Plaza at 12:30 this afternoon.
Dramatic video out of Texas shows drivers trapped in rising water after flash floods washed out roads. Dozens of drivers needed to be rescued near Lubbock yesterday. One man could be seen climbing through his car window to escape. He said he saw other cars making it through and thought he could do the same, but got trapped when his car stalled.
There's a push this morning for new detox and recovery center in Johnston County to fight the ongoing opioid crisis. Organizers from Joco Angels and Recovery Alive say they would like to see this as another option to help patients battling addiction. Johnston County is slated to receive more than $8 million from a national opioid settlement over the next 18 years. Advocates say some of that money should be used to open a treatment center.
I want to focus on the cure. The person who has overdosed, I do believe they should have someone show up for them.
WRAL has reached out to county commissioners and the county health department to find out their plans for the settlement money. We're waiting to hear back.
The 2023 Special Olympics North Carolina begin today with the torch lighting and opening ceremony. The torch lighting will take place at the state capitol after a final 5-mile run by law enforcement from across the state. This is video from yesterday's leg of the run from Zebulon to Raleigh. Today's portion starts at 9 at Carter Finley Stadium with the torch lighting set for 11:30. The opening ceremony begins at NC State's Reynolds Coliseum at 7:30 tonight. It is free and open to the public. WRAL's Ken Smith will be the MC. This is video from a previous year's ceremony. More than 1,300 Special Olympics athletes will be part of this year's event.
4:38 right now, caught in the act. A man is caught breaking into a car in Cary in the middle of the day.
I made eye contact with him, and I kind of was like, hey, what are you doing?
Just ahead, hear from the couple who caught it all on camera.
Plus, the White House responds after video goes viral of President Joe Biden taking a big fall during a graduation ceremony.
And you're taking a live look outside at Raleigh from our WRAL Live Cam Network. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with what you can expect as you make your weekend plans.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:42. It's a pleasant start this morning. Temperature 65 in Wilson, 66 in Durham, and 67 degrees in Fayetteville. We do have some cloud cover that's starting to develop across the area this morning. So when the sun comes up, we're going to see that mix of sun and clouds. And later on this afternoon and evening, we could see an isolated shower. Probably not as many as we saw yesterday, but it's still a possibility. A little bit of fog in spots too, especially in our northern counties. So look at Lewisburg showing that fog symbol right there. Otherwise, we're seeing a mix of cloud cover and clear skies. 65 in Irwin, 63 in South Hill, and warmer 68 in Goldsboro. At the bus stop this morning, feels fine out there. Temperatures are nice and mild in the 60s. As the kids are getting off the bus this afternoon, temperatures will be toasty in the low 80s under partly cloudy skies.
Elizabeth, thanks. A Durham man who has been in prison for 15 years is free for now after a judge overturned his conviction. Kevin Johnson was accused of shooting a police officer in 2007. A judge ruled yesterday he should get a new trial and be released from prison. Johnson has always maintained his innocence. It's possible there will not be a new trial and Johnson's charges will be dismissed. The DA's office has 2 months to decide how to move forward.
This morning, we have video of a person who was caught breaking into a car in Cary in the middle of the day. We told you earlier this week about the warning from Cary police about break-ins. And now take a look at this. Justine Shoemaker and her husband say they were on their way to lunch at Pineapple Soul when they saw a man acting suspiciously around a car. They circled the parking lot, started recording when they saw him pick up a rock, and then he climbs inside the car window.
My husband actually saw somebody circling a car in the parking lot right over here.
I made eye contact with him, and I kind of was like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, the couple posted the images to Facebook, and Schumacher says at least half a dozen people have commented about this man. Cary police are investigating. They say it's too early to link this to the string of car break-ins we reported at Cary hotels Tuesday night.
The White House says President Joe Biden is fine this morning after he took that tough tumble on stage during the Air Force Academy's graduation. Turns out there was a sandbag on stage that he tripped over. It happened yesterday, moments after he finished handing out diplomas. Biden was seen smiling and then jogging toward his vehicle at the end of the ceremony. The White House says the president even joked later, saying, "I got sandbagged."
Legal sports betting in North Carolina is inching closer to becoming law. The state Senate gave its final approval yesterday to a bill that would allow sports gambling on electronic devices and in some in-person facilities. House Speaker Tim Moore said his chamber will agree to the Senate's changes early next week. Then the bill heads to Governor Roy Cooper, who has been supportive throughout. However, the actual bets will have to wait. Betting in the state won't begin until at least January 8th. We reached out to DraftKings, a popular sports betting company, for reaction about this. And in a statement, the company thanked the Senate for passing the bill and called the vote, quote, a key step closer to having legal sports betting.
Duke Health is getting ready to cut several hundred jobs. A spokesperson for Duke Health Systems says 280 positions will be eliminated. They say many of those will be reduced by retirements, departures, and not filling vacant positions. Most are administrative and operational jobs. They added affected workers will get support for job placement as needed. Toyota is investing another $2 billion in our state. This week, it announced an SUV manufacturing facility in Kentucky. Toyota says the plant they're building in Greensboro will make the batteries for those cars. Here's a look at the progress on that plant in the Piedmont Triad. It could bring over 5,000 jobs to the area. The company says the new investment announced this week likely will not lead to any additional jobs.
A juicer is being recalled because they've been exploding and leaving dozens of people hurt. 5 on Your Side found this recall for the Power XL self-cleaning juicer. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the juicers have ruptured while being used, spewing out debris. Even if the juicers don't break apart, they can leave small particles in the juice, which can be harmful if swallowed. If you have one, you'll get a full refund from Empower Brands. All right, 446 right now. Take a look over at Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center as we get our Friday started here, looking towards the weekend. It's pretty clear out there and kind of mild. Nice.
Yeah, the temperatures are feeling really nice out there. This is a live look at downtown Raleigh, of course, the legislative building. Our temperature is 66 degrees. We are reporting a half a mile or less visibility around the triangle area. You can see the fog symbol there. So our visibility is starting to drop. We do have some cloud cover out there this morning. Our temperatures, though, feeling good. Temperatures in the mid-70s once we get closer to lunchtime. At around town, we should see some sunshine this afternoon. Much like yesterday, there could be an isolated shower that pops up. 83 in Raleigh, 84 Durham, 84 degrees in Fayetteville. So it is going to be a bit of a warmer day today. Next 3 games for the Durham Bulls looking good. Today, 82, Saturday, 80 degrees at 6:35. Saturday evening, we do have the potential for a front to come through. The chances for rain with that are looking pretty minimal, but there is a small chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm. Sunday looks perfect. 77 degrees at 5 o'clock. Remember, the Sunday's games are always a little bit earlier, and we're going to see sunny skies with low humidity. So of the 2 days over the weekend, neither one of them is going to be terrible, but Sunday is just going to feel a little bit more pleasant. Here's a look at Futurecast this morning, and you can see the cloud cover hanging out around our area this morning. There may be a few thin spots in the clouds. When I came in this morning, you could see a little bit of moon, but those clouds are likely to continue to thicken up. Once we get past lunchtime, watch how those clouds start to break up. It'll be partly cloudy, and notice there's just not much showing up on radar here in terms of isolated showers, but there really wasn't yesterday either, and we did end up with some stray showers. So it's a possibility certainly for us this afternoon. Warming up for today and tomorrow, and then cooling back down again for Sunday. So 83 today, 89 Saturday, and then 77 on Sunday. We should see a good bit of sunshine this afternoon and again Saturday, but again Saturday evening there may be a few stray thunderstorms. Taking a look at our muggy meter, we're looking at some muggier conditions today and tomorrow. Sunday feeling good, back into the 50s, and then that starts to creep up a little bit next week. But we still don't have any intense heat and humidity in our forecast. In the mountains for tomorrow, looking nice. We're going to see a small chance of a shower or thunderstorm up around Boone and Grandfather Mountain with 70s, a little warmer and drier in Asheville at 86. Our beach forecast at Wilmington in the mid 80s, but as you get to right on the beaches, temperatures are likely to be in the 70s, and we'll see partly cloudy skies with only a small chance of a shower. Sunday, again, as I mentioned, is looking good. And then we have some nice looking weather in our forecast for next week. The warmest day will be Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday looking nice. Some overnight lows back into the 50s. So no intense heat still in this forecast.
That's right. No 90s. We like that. Elizabeth, thank you. Prince Harry may need to defend his right to stay in the U.S. in a courtroom.
And just ahead, why his visa is being questioned by a conservative group.
Plus, home insurance premiums are expected to climb about 7% this year. 5 on Your Side is here to help with steps you can take to reduce your payments.
Welcome back. If you thought your home insurance premiums would eventually go down, you might want to think again. Bills are projected to climb about 7% this year.
But 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur is here to help with steps you can take right now to control your premium.
You're not going to want to hear this, but home insurance premiums are rising faster than inflation. You can blame that on things like more natural disasters occurring. But like with anything, a little time and effort on the front end can reap big savings down the road.
$30 per square foot is what we went up.
For months, 5 on Your Side has tracked the rising cost of housing and insurance, with some of you, like Durham real estate agent Kathy Durando, taking matters into your own hands and upping your coverage yourself.
Well, everything is costing more to replace. So it would be, naive to think that we could just build back at the same price that we bought.
Durando increased her coverage by $170 with her trusted insurance agent, Turner Walston, who's with McClintock and Associates. Shopping around and finding the right person to work with is exactly what you should do. After that, Consumer Reports says consider bundling. That means buying your homeowners and auto coverage from the same company, which can save up to 30%. Think about extra items to bundle too, like coverage for a boat or motorcycle. Raise your deductible. Moving to a $1,000 deductible from $500 can shave your premium by 25%. And while a low deductible could save money if you have a claim, odds are you won't have one anytime soon. Finally, replace old plumbing, add security cameras, or install gas or water leak detectors. Let your agent know you did. You may be able to trim off 2 to 6% with each additional item. If you live in a fire-prone area, even cutting back dry brush around your home and outbuildings could generate a credit on your bill. All of these moves will keep your coverage high, costs low, and you hopefully stress-free.
You just don't want to end up in a situation where you can't build back your house.
And finally, when choosing an insurer, you want to find one that provides great service. Amica Mutual Group and USAA Group constantly get top scores with Consumer Reports. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Areas that are prone to extreme weather-related disasters will see the biggest increase in cost.
A conservative group is challenging Prince Harry's U.S. visa after revelations about drug use in his book. The Heritage Foundation is suing the U.S. government, requesting Harry's immigration documents to be unsealed. The case will go before a federal judge next week. Harry confessed to taking various recreational drugs in his explosive memoir, Spare. Under U.S. immigration law, evidence of past drug use can be grounds to reject an application.
Mars makes its live stream debut today. For the first time, you'll be able to get a live look at the red planet in real time. The European Space Agency is set to broadcast directly from Mars. The event celebrates the 20th anniversary of the launch of the agency's Mars Express. The out-of-the-world action begins at noon today on its YouTube channel.
There'll be another round of soccer matches getting underway in just a few hours. It's the soccer tournament, but Dallas United will not be playing. Coming up at 5, new reaction from a West Ham player who says a racial slur was directed at him.
And it's a historic day at Fort Bragg as the post will officially become Fort Liberty. We'll talk about the events happening there today.
And the battle over student loan relief continues. Coming up, what President Biden is expected to do today that'll keep the possibility of that proposal being passed alive.